haven't had much time to film today, so I thought this was an easy option, and obviously you get to see the upload straight away. So I wanted to have a quick chat about exercising through injury. Now, most of you know, I'll give you a quick backstory here in case you don't know. About 18 months to 2 years ago, I damaged my hip. It started popping whenever I exercised, whenever I did bicycle crunches. It started really popping and making a noise, then it started hurting. Then since then it's kind of really gone downhill. It now hurts and pops every time I take a step. I am going through loads of stuff to try and find out what it is. I've got another MRI in a week's time, and hopefully that will show what it is. The doctors think it's a labral tear, which I've done from HIIT workouts basically. Yeah, that's what we think. So exercising through injury. Basically, I cannot cope without some form of exercise in my life. It's quite nice to have found that revelation, but when you injure yourself, it's incredibly hard to then work out a way where you can exercise. Doctors have told me not to exercise. They've told me just to be really, really careful. And so when pushed, I finally got from a doctor that I could use an exercise bike, which I thought was a brilliant way of getting to actually exercise without kind of moving my hip in an awkward way. It works well because it's static, it's not going anywhere, you're not going to be going over any bumps, you're not going to experience any different terrains. You've just got a normal, static, nice and easy, hopefully, exercise bike, which just means I can do 15 minutes, half an hour a day in the morning when I first get up, if I'm feeling like it. I don't particularly like exercise bikes because my knees don't really like exercise bikes. That aside, the exercise bike is a great tip, or if you've got anything that's like a cross trainer or anything like that. I don't think I could use a cross trainer because you're moving your hip more up and down, whereas on an exercise bike, your hip is obviously stable, but kind of your leg is moving round and round, but your hip isn't actually really moving. So if there's any exercise that you can do like that, then do it. Make sure that you're as active as you can be, because your mental health will be better. I know for me, my mental health is so much better when I'm actually exercising, getting those endorphins going. So I think definitely a top tip is to do what you can. I've been told I shouldn't go for walks, but it hasn't really stopped me. I am still going for walks. I'm not going as far or as fast as I used to, but I am going for walks, and I'm kind of trying to make the most of getting out and just getting some steps in. Again, it's not the kind of exercise I was doing. I can't run. I can't really get my heart rate up high, but being active is still better than nothing. So getting out, making sure I'm doing my 10,000 steps a day. Doesn't really matter how you do those. Obviously, it's better if you can do them faster, but if you can't, if you're injured, don't. So get out and don't push yourself too hard. I certainly know when I've pushed myself a bit too hard and I shouldn't have, and the next day I suffer for it, and there's absolutely no need to do that. So just make sure you know your limits with your own body and with what you know you can do within that injury. And if you've injured your hip like me, then obviously it's quite a difficult joint to keep still. Whereas if you've injured a knee or something, you can always get like a brace, or if it's your ankle, because I did my ankle when I was running, I just got a brace for my ankle. I kept off it for a while and it worked really well. That just worked for me. But the hip, other top tip stretches you can and can't do, because obviously there's some that are going to hurt, that are not going to be beneficial for you or for your injured body. So with Pilates, I make sure that I'm not doing certain stretches that are going right into my hip, because that's not beneficial for me and it will just hurt it more. So if something's hurting, just stop, take it easy, try a different move, try something that you know works, and work it out that way. So I think those are my kind of main two top tips, but fundamentally listen to your body, speak to an expert, speak to your doctor, ask a physio, find out what you can and can't do, how far you can push yourself, and what your body can do. You will know yourself when you try it, just how much your body can do and what will work for you. So I'd say go with that. That's what's been working for me. It's been nearly 2 years. I've found it really hard. I've put on weight because I'm less active, and then that obviously doesn't help my hip either. But I'm still getting out, I'm still doing something. So I know that I'm doing the best I can for my body in this injured moment. And hopefully, even if it involves an operation for my hip, it will get better and I will be better. And I don't know if I'll be back to running, but I'll certainly be back to getting out, getting up the hills, exercising at home, but just taking it that bit more easy. So I hope you found this helpful.